This program is brought to you by the Reeves Law Firm, representing you and your Social Security and disability needs. If you have a problem or questions regarding Social Security and disability, call attorney Anthony Reeves, toll free at 1-888-962-0007. Again, that's 1-888-962-0007. Or go to www.reevesfirm.com.
Good day and welcome to another edition of Q&A Social Security Disability Today. Let's get to your questions. Clark v. Astrue update. Okay. By now, you should have received some type of informational letter from the Social Security Administration saying that you, and this is only applying to those individuals that this actually applies to, that you might be a member of the Clark v. Astrue class. Okay. And the reason why this is important is because I've been getting a lot of emails, comments, messages, and even phone calls about this letter. Let's kind of back up a little bit. For those of you who may not be aware, there was recently a decision in a case called Clark v. Astrue, which is a class action lawsuit that originated out of the Southern District of New York Federal Court. As a result of that, the case being settled, approximately 140,000 plus persons who may be affected by this class or more should have been receiving letters, and it might be more than that, indicating that they may be a member of this particular class. So I've been getting the whole gambit of questions, and so for those purposes, I wanted to do this video here specifically for you. Let's go down the line. First, the letter that you got from Social Security is an informational letter letting you know that you might be a member of the class. For those of you who are like, oh man, I'm gonna get some money, pause. They're telling you you may be a member of the class, meaning they have to determine first if you meet all the criteria of the class, because there is a possibility that you may not be a member of the class, which means you might not get anything. So for those of you who want to quick to run to Social Security and find out if you're going to get some money, I tell you, sit down, slow down, relax. Okay? Let Social Security determine if you're a member of the class first. Then the second question comes is, well, when am I going to find out something? Okay. I had the opportunity to speak to one of the local officers who was nice enough to tell me that they have instructions are due to be coming out any day now to specifically handle these particular class action cases, meaning their Social Security knows who the individuals may be. Then they have to give the officers specific instructions on how to handle them. This is why I keep telling people when they call me to relax and wait, because this is such a big class. Social Security has to make sure that they do it properly. So they're not going to rush to hurry up and give you your money because they don't want to mess you up and put you in a worse situation than you are already. So I tell people it's coming. So the first thing is you got to find out if you're a part of the class. Second of all, they have to make sure they properly handle processing this class accordingly. Then the other thing is people asking is like, well, how long is it going to take? Okay. For those of you, because I know I've had a couple of comments saying, oh, I've looked at the court and they got to do within a certain time. Let's pause for a second. What the decision tells the court, Social Security, what the court told Social Security was, you've lost. Within a certain time period, you need to give me your breakdown as to how you're going to do that. I'm fairly confident they've already done that. But at the same instance, they've got to give instructions to all these locations, all these different offices. And keep in mind, people, we're talking about Social Security across 50 states and various commonwealths where we have other offices as well, like Puerto Rico and things. So this is not something that's going to happen really fast. Now, this is not going to something that's going to drag on. Like some of you are probably thinking, so you're trying to say this could be 2-3 years? No, no, no. I'll be very honest. I'll be surprised. They probably, and I'm not Social Security, so do not hold me to this. But I'd be very surprised if this takes longer than by the end of the year. In other words, between now and the end of the year, they should have everything in the system flowing smoothly, because they know that with class action cases, they are time sensitive. So you have to move on this fairly quickly. But I want to stress to you that just because you get a letter telling you you might be a class member does not necessarily mean you're going to be a class member, meaning You may not get anything. Then they got to determine how much they owe you if you are a member of the class. Then they got to determine if they have to reimburse you any money, because there are some people who actually had to pay overpayments for this. So that's a lot of work that has to be done with regards to this. Now, I'm going to say this to you, and I know this is going to be frustrating, and I know some of you, and the reason why I'm sharing this with you is so hopefully you'll have something to refer back to. But here's the biggest thing you need to realize. You can call attorneys or representatives until you're blue in the face. No one can tell you definitively anything but Social Security. Plain and simple, but Social Security. Now, let me tell you what's happening, and I know this because I've been getting calls from all over the country about this. You go to your Social Security office and you talk to someone who may not have an intimate knowledge about what's going on, because the average worker might not know about this. But let me tell you, the district managers or the assistant district managers who run the offices, they are aware of what's going on because they have to prepare their people accordingly. So what am I saying to you? Well, when you get one of these letters or you're not sure and you want to know what's going on, what you need to do is just politely say, listen, I need to speak to someone about this Clark v. Astrue class action lawsuit settlement. I got a letter and I think I might be a member. If you run across somebody who doesn't know, just ask for a supervisor and just say, hey, listen, I just want somebody to tell me something. The one thing, and I've talked to a couple of different local offices and they all say the same thing. Call us. We're the ones, and this is what Social Security is telling me, we're the ones who are responsible for making sure this happens accordingly. So you got to be patient because you got to give them a chance to get the processes and policies and procedures in place. Let me pause again, and please forgive me if I'm a little fired up. The reason why is because I've been getting so many calls about this and emails, and my message has been the same. You're getting an informational letter letting you know that you might be affected. That's the first part. There's a possibility you might not get anything. That's the second part. Third part is with any class action, typically courts do not let the losing party string this out for long periods of time. So as such, they've got to process doing all this within a set period of time. So you're going to get more and more notices letting you know this is what we need or this is how much you're going to be entitled to. It's going to happen. Please, I can't say this any more emphatically. Chill, relax, pause. Stop blowing up people's phones trying to figure out when you're going to get what's coming to you, and let the process work itself out. It's going to work itself out, okay? And when in doubt, call Social Security, okay? Call Social Security. And don't get frustrated. This is one of the things I tell people. If you are a potential class member, or more importantly, if you are a class member, the best part is done. They won the case. So now it's just a matter of them calculating. That takes time. And I'm going to tell you like I tell everybody on the phone and everybody via email and instant message, and I'm telling you here on Q&A Social Security Disability Today. You want them to get this right. You do. So you stressing them about hurrying up and getting it done, and when you're going to get, how much it's going to do anything, it's doing nothing to help them help you. Let them do what the government and the judge has required them to do. And you will find out accordingly whether or not you're a member of the class, whether you're entitled to anything, and how much you're entitled to receive. Trust me, they're not going to keep you in the dark. They're going to let you know. And most importantly, if you got that letter, hold on to it. Do not throw it away, shred it, or give it to your friend, P-Bo and Big Mike or Tito to hold on for you, or anything like that, or Rashawn, Shaniqua, whoever you got. Keep that form on you. Keep that letter on you, because that letter is your letter showing you that you've been notified that you might be a member of the class. So if there's periods of time going by, you can go back and say, I got this letter, hadn't heard anything. What's up? Again, this is Attorney Anthony Reeves. As always, it's a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you next time.